Let's welcome Bhuvan Mom, Ridhi Shantanu Maheshwari, Prajakta Koi, and Amol with Manjot Singh. Our moderator for this session is Sneha Menon Desai, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hi everyone, thank you, really, thank you for sticking around. I have to say that no bias whatsoever, but I think my panel is the best panel. So, Bhuvan, Ridhi, Prajakta, Shantanu, Amol and Manjot, welcome to the Rising Stars in OTT conversation. It is such a joy to see the strides that each of you have made in your careers. And I know that this room is filled with some students, some aspiring actors, and a lot of fans. So I'm going to try and make this conversation as insightful and fun as possible. Okay? I'm going to start off by asking you guys, do each of you remember the first time you felt famous? And what was that feeling like?
मैं शुरू करूँ? पहले तो हेलो सबको सही हो एक बार अपने लिए जोरदार तालियां बजा दो कब से बैठे तुम लोग मैं हिंदी में बोलूं तो चलेगा ना
हाँ प्लीज
है ना तो मेरा थोड़ा बिजार इंसिडेंट था मेरे को मेट्रो में घूमने का बहुत शौक था क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा मेरे को कैरेक्टर्स का ऑब्जर्वेशन वहीं से आता था तो मैं एक बार जा रहा था और मालवीय नगर मेट्रो स्टेशन पे मैं गया और तब तक एंग्री मास्टर जी आ चुका था ऑलमोस्ट डॉक्टर सहगल और एंग्री मास्टर जी के एपिसोड्स आ चुके थे सो आई डिडंट नो द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ कि क्या होता है कैसा रिस्पॉन्स होता है क्या होता है क्योंकि कभी किसी ने सामने से मिलके नहीं बोला कि येस वी वॉच योर कंटेंट तो वहाँ पे जाके मुझे रियलाइज़ हुआ कि एक कॉलेज का ग्रुप आ रहा था 9-10 बच्चे आ रहे थे तो उसमें से किसी एक ने नोटिस किया फिर कट टू 10 मिनट्स लेटर दे वर मतलब द पुलिस जो अंदर होती है मेट्रो में दे हैड टू एस्कॉर्ट मी एंड आई वॉज लिम्पिंग एंड वॉकिंग होम बिकॉज जो मेरी शर्ट थी उस पर ब्लड मार्क्स थे और पूरे नेल्स थे उसके पीछे सो मैं घर गया तो मुझे घर वालों ने पूछा कि किसने पीटा क्या करके आया तू अभी तो वो मेरा पहला एक्सपीरियंस था एंड आई डोंट रिग्रेट इट फ्रैंकली
वेलकम टू स्टारडम हु वांट्स टू गो नेक्स्ट
I think I'll go next.
Yes.
I don't know I don't know the feeling of like what do you feel that you feel famous. I don't feel it, but I think when the first time
What was that film that just released? You were part
Jawan,
of?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was going to say when Shah Rukh took my name on stage, I felt famous. When he said Ridhi, and I was like, oh my God, he's taking my name on a stage, is when I truly felt famous. But I think जब पहली बार bodyguards आपके साथ चलते हैं किसी event में, and you're like, are these people for me? You know, that's probably when I felt famous. But,
Hello everybody. Hi. मेरे लिए I think before I started YouTube मैं theatre करती थी. And there was this one, and I used to do Marathi theatre. There was this show I did which was called जो भी होगा देखा जाएगा. और उसमें जो मेरे साथ वाले थे वो बड़े सारे like established theatre actors थे. So every day after our show, everybody used to leave, and I used to always leave last because सबके लिए autograph के लिए line लगती थी हमारे dressing room के बाहर. And I used to feel very sad because I used to be like nobody comes to meet me. So I used to sit in my dressing room with my book till everybody has left, and then I used to leave. This one time, random show, and I left after that, and I saw this one family waiting outside, and I was like, what happened? And they're like, no, hum aapke liye ruke the. And I was just like, so that was the day I was like, okay, fine, this is fun, this is nice. I would like to keep doing this.
Can we get a cheer for mostly sane?
Hey, what's up, people? What's up? For me, I think my first show when I was doing Dil Dosti Dance, I'm sure you all are familiar. Oh, ऐसा भी मत बोले यार. Childhood
nobody's
idol
allowed
मत बोले
to say all this.
But yeah, I mean, so we used to go to this live event called Channel V India Fest. It used to happen in Goa. So there we used to perform and shoot for the show itself. And the first year we had gone, nobody knew. So, I mean, they picked us up. And second year when we went there, I mean, there was this sea of crowd who had like come to witness us in live, and they were like WWE में होता है ना वैसा ऐसा 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 वैसा वाला वो ऐसा सिनारियो टाइप का क्रिएट हो गया था. सो दैट्स द टाइम आई थिंक वेयर वी फेल्ट लाइक ओह हम लोग का शो कोई तो देख रहा है. सो एंड दैट्स व्हेन यू फेल्ट लाइक या यू काइंड ऑफ सो कॉल्ड सेलिब्रिटी एंड फेमस व्हाटएवर. या दैट्स अबाउट इट. इतना ही है. थैंक यू.
अभी मेरा नंबर आ गया. तो हाय एवरीवन. तो ऑफ कोर्स मेरी स्टोरी ट्रिपलिंग से रिलेटेड है बिकॉज फेम जैसी चीज़ उसके बाद ही आई. सो ट्रिपलिंग आई डोंट नो इफ एवरीवन रिमेंबर्स सीजन 1 केम आउट इन 2016 and it came out episodically. They used to release one episode and then a week later second episode, third episode, fourth episode and then finale. 5 episode के बाद आता था. So when tripling came out, honestly we were not confident about the show. We thought कि कुछ बन गया है, क्या बन गया है पता नहीं, कुछ अजीब सा बन गया है. 3 भाई बहन बैठ के 10 मिनट तक अपनी सेक्स लाइफ डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, कोई देखना चाहता है क्या इसको, will anyone enjoy this? So बहुत सारे डाउट्स थे. And then the first episode came out, it was okay. The reception was okay, it was a little mixed कि अरे, some people say कि अरे पहले इतना अच्छा था, permanent roommates was so much fun, ये क्या बना दिया, ये सब क्या हो रहा है. And then the second episode came out with the motherfucker song and the whole situation. So there is a song in the show in the second episode. It's called. So it's called the which song is it? Mother. That song. I don't use such words, but that guy, whoever that is. और मैंने तो वहाँ पे भी गाया नहीं है उसमें. मैंने सिर्फ ऐसा एक्टिंग की है, पीछे से उन्होंने गाना डाला है, तो मैंने कुछ नहीं बोला है. So but that kind, the show started to pick up.
Yeah.
Mother 1-2 times, then weird things also happen. People look at you on the road, say, "Hey, you're the motherfucker guy." I said, "Yeah," and no. So those awkward moments happen. But a big, I think, fame when you see a crowd was when me and Sumit were invited to a college event, an engineering campus. So I'm familiar with that. I'm also an engineer. So I know कि वहाँ पे शोर होता है, वहाँ बहुत भीड़ आती है और बहुत excitement होता है. And हमको बताया गया कि बस जाना है और Sumit and Amol are making an appearance and it's a 45-minute show. We are getting paid for it. We are there. We are booking us whatever business class tickets, 5-star hotel. But what am I supposed to do? So I was anxious because मुझे करने क्या वाले हैं? I called Sumit and said, "बाबा करना क्या है वहाँ जाके?" And he had already seen fame, so he was experienced. He said कि बाबा कुछ नहीं करना है, बस वहाँ जाना है और वो कुछ जो पूछेंगे वो बोलते रहना है, उसका जवाब देना है. बीच में जहाँ लगे कि ऑडियंस बोर हो रही है तो जोर से बोलते रहना, "बाबा, you are beautiful." I said ये कैसे ऐसा जवाब सिर्फ सुमित दे सकते हैं. And it was true.
You just had
We reached there, we reached NIT Jamshedpur, we walked through a series of like this crowd that has gathered, 5,000 people, वो सब हो रहा है, ताली बजा रहे हैं, हाथ टच करना चाहते हैं लोग आपसे, and I'm really flabbergasted कि ऐसा भी होता है लाइफ में. People want to put their hands inside your car and everything. Then you go on stage and for 45 minutes we are talking random things and बीच में जहाँ पे भी energy dip हो रही है, बाबा, you're beautiful.
तो आज भी ये कर लेना.
I have gone crazy. And that was it. And I realized कि fame ये है, that you don't even have to offer them anything substantial. You just have to be famous and then you just have to say that one line or that one dialogue or do that one action and that's done. It's done.
I can
That's
assure
fame.
you that everyone here has done a lot substantial stuff to be deserving of sitting here. So I'm going to quickly come to your story and then move on to the substantial things you've done.
Yes, hello जी, सत श्री अकाल. यार, hello जी. यार यहाँ के भी तो लग रहा है यार और फेमस हो गए, है ना? But I mean it. And of course मेरी पहली फिल्म थी. मैंने जब वो फिल्म रिलीज़ हुई थी एंड उसके बाद जब मुझे फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड मिला था उसके लिए क्रिटिक्स बेस्ट एक्टर का, तो वो मेरी लाइफ का एक टर्निंग पॉइंट था. मैंने कहा यार 15 मिनट के रोल के लिए यार एक फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड दे दिया, वाओ. तो आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. और मुझे लगता है फेमस होने के भी ना स्टेजेस होते हैं. अवार्ड हो गया, उसके बाद माई मॉम यूज्ड टू से कि यार तू 3-4 फिल्म्स कर लिए हैं, तूने शोज़ कर लिए हैं, तू पोस्टर पे कब दिखेगा. फिल्म के पोस्टर्स आते हैं ना, उस पर एक चुल होती है यार मुझे भी आना है. तो व्हेन फुकरे हैपेंड, मैंने मम्मी को फ़ोन करा, मम्मी आपका बेटा फाइनली पोस्टर पे आ रहा है. तो वो 4 थैंक यू.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you
and
so much.
really,
Thank
I was coming to that. When a film like Fukre 3 does so well, when you have Gangubai Kathiawadi, and of course you have Jawan, I want to ask the three of you, yes. When you see success like that on the big screen, and since this conversation is about rising stars in OTT, how do you see that trickle down into your careers on streaming? Is there a way to maximize that success to make it work for you in streaming?
I don't think I know how to do it because I think what I do understand is that a machinery at this point would really help, like a machinery of people who've already done everything for 50 other people. So you can't do it on your own. What you can do is you can make great choices, you can follow your gut. That's what I do. You can still remain true to your art, make sure that the child in you is alive and you are delivering to the craft. So these are things that I keep in mind. The person that I was when I started working, I have to not let her go. I have to keep her with me and make the choices because that's what's got me till here. So it's a little tricky, you know. It's a little like, it can be delusional. Delulu? What do you call it? Delulu? Yeah, it can be a bit of that, but you've got to, I would like to hear what everybody else has to say, but yeah, I do feel like I'm on my own and it can be a little tricky because you have to make the right choices. You have to make sure you don't do anything. Even one slight wrong thing can go wrong, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, doing my best.
Shantanu?
For me,
What was life after Gangubai?
yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't expect the kind of appreciation I got post Gangubai, because for me, I was so much in the moment, just performing the role and everything. So I was like, हाँ ठीक है, अच्छी बात है, करने को मिल रहा है, काम करने को मिल रहा है with SLB. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, for me, I think it was the perception that changed. I mean, I was more, considered as dancer who can act, so the roles were pretty much on those lanes, I mean, acting का project इसको क्यों दें, कोई और है, so that way. For me, that change happened post Gangubai, and especially towards the OTT side of it, because I would say people take more risk on OTT as compared to movies, and especially with the kind of scenario we are in. Yes, Jawan making that difference. But yeah, the risk factor has increased in terms of when it comes to putting your money on my name on OTT platforms. So that has changed for me. That whole perception of, oh, he can perform as well. You just don't have to write dance-based characters for him. So that is something that I was trying to do for a very long time, because I'm equally passionate about my dancing as well as acting. So yeah, glad that happened. And again, I mean, I agree to what Ridhi said, that I don't know how to go about it, what kind of an amount of change that has happened. वो मुझे नहीं पता, ना ही मैं find out करना चाहता हूँ. I think I'm just going with the flow and enjoying what is happening right now. So for me, yeah.
आपका है कुछ?
मेरा बस इतना बड़ा तो नहीं है, पर एक ही चीज़ है जो चेंज हुआ है मेरी लाइफ में. मेरी लाइफ ऑडिशन से सीधा नरेशन पे शिफ्ट हो गई थी. तो पहले ऑडिशन के लिए कॉल्स आते थे, अब सीधा आप ये हमारी फिल्म करना चाहेंगे, डेट्स हैं. तो अच्छा भी लगता है यार सुन के, यार ग्रो करते हैं तो यार.
But, talking about what you said about how one wrong choice can possibly toss the perception off, I want to ask all of you, the OTT space is relatively new. Everyone's taking risks, everyone's doing their best. But how do you sort of insulate yourself from rookie mistakes? Because you also you want to make this trajectory go for you. So as actors who are just dabbling in a relatively new space as compared to movies, how do you work this space to make sure that it benefits you? Are you exchanging notes constantly on what one should do? And I also want to just take this for the aspiring actors in the room. What are red flags when it comes to a narration? Like, what do you keep in mind before you sign off on a project that takes a significant amount of your time?
I think for me, the most important thing, and I've worked in all mediums, I've worked in television, OTT, film. So the one thing that I've kept constant from my television journey till now is if I'm sitting with a team and if they're invested in the character and they're invested in the story, like they're passionately driven to tell the story creatively and not just to make the money or to, you know, this is the, hum ye karne wale hain, this is the visual, this is the look. But if you meet the director, like I met Atlee, and he was passionate about Kaveri Amma. And you know, I was like, okay, I'll do it for him. You know, it may be a small part, it's super risky. I don't need to do it. I'm doing a lot of other work. I don't necessarily need to do this risky part. But because he was so convinced and passionate about what he wanted to do, and that's what I have done always, which always works. That you go with teams that are invested in your character, and on paper, like in the meeting, it should be great. Because then there's scope of making it better, and they'll want to hear your feedback because I'm that kind of an actor. I ask a lot of questions, I do a lot of homework, I think a lot about the character. So for me, it's important to be working with people who
Are as invested. Yeah?
yeah.
Yeah?
Can I just add on to this? I completely agree to what she said. I also think that it's such a great time to be an actor right now because we finally have, and thanks to OTT, we finally have these very complex, beautifully written stories, relatable, easy, whatever, like all different kinds of stories. And the fact that each character kind of does so much to an actor's, like for example, if you see all the bigger shows that have worked really well on OTT, you don't really remember just one phase. You remember more than one. Even if that person's come for like 2 scenes, you're going to remember that. What happened with Pankaj Tripathi in Masan was mad. So for me, honestly, as long as you get a character that moves the story ahead, now that could come for a scene or it could come for the whole film, as long as it moves ahead. If you remove that character, if the story doesn't work, then it's a good gamble, I think. Because I feel like that's that little bit
That's a
play
good
area.
litmus test.
Yeah, like that's a little bit play area that OTT platforms have given us. कि ये है, and like she said, the opportunities are endless, and touch wood, I'm very happy that they are for everybody. But the fact that you get to make this choice, because traditionally when you start off as an actor, you wouldn't really go for this, right? Like you'd be like, नहीं लेकिन एक ही scene है, नहीं लेकिन 2 ही scene है, नहीं बस 15 minute ही है, film fair क्यों आएगा, right? But it's not true anymore. I'm so glad.
Yeah, yeah. And when you're part of big franchises like the three of you, whether it's Stripling, multiple seasons in, there's Mismatch, there's Dindora, as you get into subsequent seasons of the show, do you get more invested than you did starting off? Like, how much more do you get involved? How do you scale a show? What really goes into that?
Yeah, there's Asur also, yeah, don't forget.
Of course, Asur as well. Yes, please. Bhuvan, let's go with you.
I feel, see, Dindora was my debut project and that was on YouTube and it was a conscious decision कि जनता ने अगर 8 साल तक they've stood by you. So the first show that comes out of my own universe has to be on YouTube and for free. So that मतलब we had to fight a lot with YouTube for this. So they had to change their rules for the show. And we had too much of back and forth, and that's why the show was released 7-8 months later. But I feel with the second season there is more seriousness क्योंकि कोविड के बाद अचानक ही मैच्योर हो गए हैं सब.
मतलब
2 साल में घर बैठे बैठे. क्योंकि नहीं फ्रैंकली मैं जितना कंटेंट मैंने जितना मूवीज जितना सिनेमा का एक्सपोजर मुझे कोविड के दौरान हुआ है उतना कभी नहीं हुआ लाइफ में. And I think वो एक that is one learning that I'll put in the projects that I do in the future. And that's what Dindora season 2 is about. I'm writing it right now and most likely next year it will be out. But it has everything, it has all the mistakes that I've made in the past. We have incorporated all the feedbacks, we have incorporated everything and now.
So you're listening to the talk back from
मतलब
YouTube comments आप पढ़ रहे हो.
हाँ मतलब वो नहीं पढ़ा तो फिर क्या किया आपने. अगर वो फीडबैक नहीं लिया आपने तो क्या किया. अगर जनता ने आपको बोला कि इसमें ठीक हो सकता है ये बेटर हो सकता है अगर आपने वही नहीं सुना तो फिर बनाओ ही मत, क्योंकि मेन फीडबैक जो दे रहे हैं अगर आप उनकी नहीं सुन रहे, क्योंकि सीजन टू आई फील हैज टू बी जस्ट फीडबैक्स. आप सीजन 1 पे जो फीडबैक आते हैं वो सीजन 2 में डाल दो. सीजन 2 ऑलरेडी इज अ हिट.
Are you listening with mismatched? With
थोड़ा लालच हो जाता है कई बार सीजन 2 में, बिकॉज आई रिमेंबर सीजन 2 में मुझे 5 बार बोलना पड़ा कि मैं भाभा यू आर ब्यूटीफुल नहीं बोलूँगा. आई टोल्ड समीर भाभा अभी बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है भाभा, वी आर रियली जूसिंग इट, लेट्स नॉट किल इट. एज लाइक चल ठीक है नहीं बोलना है तो मत बोल. सो दैट ऑल्सो हैपन्स समटाइम्स. दैट्स अ ट्रैप वन कैन फॉल इनटू ऑफ जस्ट ट्राइंग टू प्ले अप व्हाट वर्कड, कि जो भी चला उसी को हम वापस से रिहार्स करते हैं. Personally, on a character level, people don't believe it, but when first season, I was shooting for first season, it's such a funny character, quirky character, easygoing, and all of that is so much fun. I used to be shitting bricks. On set, off set, बहुत रातें हैं जब मुझे नींद नहीं आई. मैं सबको परेशान करता था, सुमित को कि बाबा ठीक हो रहा है ना, हाँ ठीक हो रहा है यार. आर के ठीक हो रहा है ना, हाँ ठीक हो रहा है. Everybody was very, because I was so stressed. I think because it was, for that first season, it was almost like I'm creating a different creature. Most characters, you know, have कि हाँ अमोल को कास्ट किया है because अमोल में कुछ डेली लाइफ में वो ऐसा है. But I was suddenly like, I don't know who this person is, first of all, specifically with Chitwan. कि मैं नोट्स बनाने जाता था तो मुझे लगता था कि okay, he's saying I love you बाबा, okay, he must love his brother. फिर 2 पेज बाद बोल रहा है I hate you बाबा, I never hated anyone. तो आपको it's a person you can't track. सो एज एन एक्टर कमिंग फ्रॉम थिएटर कि मैं तो नोट्स बनाऊंगा, मैं तो एक कैरेक्टर स्केच बनाऊंगा, एक कैरेक्टर क्रिएट करूंगा. मेरी
you've already sworn
हाँ,
once.
मैं बोलने वाला था, मेरी पट गई, मैंने बोल भी दिया. तो वो इट डिडंट लाइक, इट वाज वेरी स्कैरी फॉर मी. इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक आई एम शूटिंग इन द डार्क, आई एम ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट दिस एलियन क्रीचर. आई डोंट नो इफ इट्स वर्किंग बिकॉज यू डोंट नो इन दैट मोमेंट. यू डोंट नो इफ इट इज फनी बिकॉज नोबडी इज लाफिंग ऑन सेट. You know, everybody's heard that joke before. So वो लोग हंसेंगे 3 महीने 6 महीने बाद जब वो सीन एडिट होके आएगा, तो तब मुझे पता चलेगा कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ इसका कुछ मतलब भी है कि नहीं है. So it was very scary, very very scary. It was almost like I was playing a serial killer. You know, I was so psychologically affected. But फिर फर्स्ट सीजन आ गया, फिर लोगों ने उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लिया जो क्रिएट हुआ, और फिर प्यार मिल गया उसको बहुत सारा. सो जो फर्स्ट सीजन में मैं ऐसा सोच के खेलता था हर सीन में, और हर सीन में मैं ओवरथिंक करता था, यू नो, राहुल द्रविड़ की तरह ऐसे खेलता था. मैं सडनली सहवाग बन गया सेकंड सीजन में कि लाओ क्या है ऐसा. सो माई होल एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स द कैरेक्टर रिमेन द सेम, बट इट वाज सो अमेजिंग फॉर मी टू सी कि 3 साल में मैं बदल गया हूँ. मेरा अप्रोच टुवर्ड्स दिस कैरेक्टर बदल गया, क्योंकि अब मुझे पता है, इट्स ऑलमोस्ट कॉकी टू अ सर्टेन पॉइंट, कि मुझे पता है आई हैव द ऑडियंस, आई नो व्हाट दे वांट, यू नो, एंड आई कैन गिव इट टू देम. Because I had learned from all the feedback that I got कि यार इनको पसंद आया है ये चीज़, इनको पसंद आया है कि एक कैरेक्टर क्रिएट हुआ है, उसकी एक कंसिस्टेंसी है. एंड देन ऑल आई हैव टू डू इज़ नाउ इमेजिन कि यही कैरेक्टर 3 साल बाद क्या होगा, यही कैरेक्टर 3 साल बाद क्या होगा. आई मीन आई डोंट हैव टू, बट कुछ तो करूँगा एज एन एक्टर, सो आई पुट इन दैट वर्क.
Are we also getting cocky, or how are we approaching Mismatched?
Oh God, I honestly think that I have it very easy on Mismatched. I'll tell you why. Because I am the last person to enter the process. I think Ghazal and Ghazal's team, who are the writers on Mismatched, season after season have done such a brilliant job with making Dimple who she is. And then Akash goes on there. There was Nipun, who was there on season 1, one of the directors. Season 2 was Akash. So by the time Dimple comes to me for every season, she's pretty rounded off. Like they know exactly what she's doing in which scene, and how the story is with her, how her life is going, and that's exactly with all the other characters. I am very attached to her, and unhealthily attached to Dimple.
What do you mean?
Like I remember on season 2 there was a bit that was in the script, and I remember looking at Akash offended. I was like, I don't believe you think she would say that. And Akash was like, calm down, it's not you. And I was like, I know, but like you just tend to, also like I played her when I was in 2019, so I was 26? Yes, sorry, thank you. I was 26. So it's been 4 years, you know, that she's been a very, very important part of my life. But I think, at least for me, I think by the time I become a part of the process, it's the easiest because everything has been worked out so well till we start the readings and the workshop and the prep.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to pick up on that solid fan and basically ask all of you. I was speaking to Manoj Bajpai recently and he was talking to me about how often he gets mistaken for Ashutosh Rana. Does this case of mistaken identity happen with you guys, or is the nature of social media stardom such that people really know everything about you because he has a story? I'm just going to stop talking.
8 साल से चल रहा है सस्ता जॉनी डेप 8 साल से कुछ भी करो सस्ता जॉनी डेप है मैंने कहा थोड़ा तो महंगा करो इसको
वो तो फिर भी अवेयर है कि वो जो बोल रहे हैं उनको पता है कि ये जॉनी डेप नहीं है मैंने फोटो खिंचाई है यार मेरे को फोटो खिंचानी पड़ी वो बंदा मानने को तैयार ही नहीं है और ये होता है मेरे साथ आई गेट दिव्येंदु अ लिटिल बिट दिस गाय एट द एयरपोर्ट लाइक प्यार का पंचनामा ऐसे नहीं मैं अरे प्यार का पंचनामा ऐसे नहीं मैं नहीं हूँ वो मुझे पता है वो कौन है वो मेरा दोस्त है मैं अरे यार प्यार का पंचनामा ऐसे वो मैं नहीं हूँ एंड देन ही गॉट अपसेट ही सेड एक फोटो ही तो खिंचाना है ऐसे खिंचा लो हाँ सही बात है फोटो ही तो खिंचाना है तो मैंने फोटो खिंचा लिया एंड देन आई ट्वीटेड आई टैग दिव्येंदु सिंह देखो अगर मेरी फोटो पे तुम्हारा टैग आएगा तो समझ जाना कि मैंने उसको बताया था कि मैं नहीं हूँ पर वो नहीं माना बट आई गेट दिस आई गेट मुन्ना भैया दिस थिंग दिव्येंदु और मुझे नहीं लगता है बट लोगों को लगता है
लोगों को लगता है. You guys?
I mean, Asur came out the same time as Money Heist, and there's, what's the character's name? Sorry? Lisbon, yeah, exactly. So everybody was like, yeah. Exactly. And I saw the show. मैंने मनी हाइस्ट देखा इसलिए कि कौन एक्टर है मुझे देखना है सब लोग सोशल मीडिया पे बोल रहे हैं यू लुक लाइक दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन एंड आई गेट कर्स्टन स्टुअर्ट सो आई एम गेटिंग ऑल फॉरेनर्स एंड आई एम लाइक कैन देयर एजेंट्स मिस्टेक मी फॉर देम दैट्स व्हाट आई वांट एंड आई हैड अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग इंसिडेंट एक्चुअली मामी से मैं निकल रही थी एंड समवन केम अप टू मी एंड स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग टू मी लाइक आई एम तापसी okay and I had Harleen next to me Harleen the actor so she and I are standing and this person's like I loved you in this film loved you da, da, da. Harleen is like I think you're mistaken this is Ridhi oh you're Ridhi Dogra I love the work you do it was so strange and the shutters were down we didn't have anywhere to go like the PVR had shut and they were going to open it so I had to be with her and like have that conversation it's pretty endearing I think it's cute
I have a भाई प्लीज एक छोटी स्टोरी है मेरी बड़ी क्यूट स्टोरी है तो मुझे मज़ा आता है जब लोगों को पता नहीं चलता कि कैरेक्टर्स आई प्ले ऑन माई ओन सो देयर दिस गाय वाज एंटरिंग अ रेस्टोरेंट एंड देयर दिस गाय एंड ही सेज मैंने कहा जी कह रहा कैसे हैं टीटू मामा मैं सही है बढ़िया आ जाओ मैं जाता हूँ अंदर मेरे को भूख लग रही है कह रहा नहीं आपकी कभी उनसे बात हो ना आप उनको बोलना कि एक बार दिल्ली भी चक्कर लगाएं और मैंने कहा अच्छा और मैं सोचता रहा मैंने कहा अरे इसको पता ही नहीं है कि मैं प्ले करता हूँ टीटू मामा एंड इज लाइक और मामी कैसी है मैंने कहा नॉटी हो रहा है ये आदमी तो ये होता है कैरेक्टर्स के साथ काफ़ी
That is an incredible compliment if there was one. Yeah.
मेरे साथ अभी रिसेंटली हुआ मैंने बड़ी कोई स्टाइलिश कपड़े पहन के ना रील कोई डाली थी इंस्टाग्राम पे तो एक बंदे ने कमेंट किया पाजी आपका लेमनेड वाला जो गाना है ना सॉन्ग बड़ा अच्छा लगता है मुझे मैंने भाई मेरे वो दिलजीत दोसांझ का गाना है वो स्टार आदमी है वो अपने आप में एक इंडस्ट्री है प्लीज़ मुझे ऐसे मत बोलो बट अच्छा लगा सुन के यार कि मुझे वो स्टाइलिश माना उस बंदे ने उस लेवल का
Well, speaking of reels, this
Can
bunch
I
of you...
also tell
yes.
one? Okay, sorry.
I assume that nobody would possibly mistake you for
No,
anyone
I don't
else.
have mistaken identity. I was at very recently. I was at Kolkata airport 2 weeks ago, and we were waiting to board. और मुंबई जा रही थी flight. So obviously a lot of people were waiting to board, and then they came and a few of them clicked a picture with me. And there were these 2 girls who came and they clicked pictures. And after clicking the picture, they were like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Why you click picture then?" I was like, no, everybody was clicking, so I don't have mistaken identity. There's no identity only.
ये हुआ है.
This
Anurag
happens.
Kashyap
agree
tells
होता
me
है.
he has a litmus test. You watch, name 3 of my films, you'll get a selfie.
I do
think
the
you should all
same.
follow that.
People come, they want to click a picture and they're like, आप, and I'm like, मैं अपना बायोडाटा क्यों बताऊँ आपको? मैं आपसे पूछ रही हूँ आप ऑफिस में क्या काम करते हैं, आपकी क्या सैलरी है, आपने क्या किया है. अगर आप जानते ही नहीं है तो मत खिंचाओ फोटो. नहीं, I know you, so yeah.
मैंने तो अभी एक बंदे आए थे मेरे पास फोटो खिंचवाने. मैंने तो उनको बोला भाई पहले अभी बुक माई शो पे जाके टिकट्स बुक करो तो मैं फोटो खिंचवाऊंगा.
I feel like I used to do that. Sorry, I used to do that a lot every time I used to go to electronic stores. क्योंकि वहाँ पे सारे iPhones, iPads लगे होते. I used to go and subscribe to my channel on all those phones.
Oh my god!
Every Apple store I went to, I used to be like, because they're always logged in. So I'm just like, bell icon, subscribe on all the devices.
This is mostly insane.
Well, I have so many more questions, but I've been told I'm out of time, and I think this is a great time to sort of wrap this up. Thank you so much for sharing these stories and just making us, sort of reminding us why we love each of you so much. And rising stars, more power to each and
But I
every
want
one
to
of
note
you.
one thing, because we're saying rising stars. My Tripling season 1 came out in 2016. I got a Rising Star award. Next year, I got a Most Promising Actor award. Then somebody said Excitement of Star of the Future award. मेरे पास इतने Most Promising Rising इकट्ठे हो गए हैं अभी कि मैं अभी भी राइज ही कर रहा हूँ.
It's a
मेरी
good
राइज रुक ही
thing.
नहीं रही है.
अच्छी बात है यार.
मैं कहाँ जाके लैंड करूँगा मुझे पता नहीं है.
Keep
Because I've
rising.
been rising for 7 years now. It's quite interesting. Like I don't know if I'm taking it as a compliment.
It is
I hope I'm
absolutely
being
a
sane.
compliment. Keep rising and more power to each of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a wonderful
Thank you
audience.
so much.
Thank you.